This is Nadine bringing you Ventura Vibe, a podcast featuring the local treasures of people and places that make our community here in Ventura so special. I've got interviews, games, community resources, and volunteer opportunities to get us connected. So let's get started. The Sheltering in Ventura edition was recorded from home at the start of the pandemic. Here's a little snapshot of where we were at that time. This episode was originally recorded May 25th, 2020. Hey Ventura, welcome to Ventura Vibe, Sheltering in Ventura edition. This is Nadine checking in with you. On today's show, I'm checking in with Monica White, the president and CEO of FoodShare. FoodShare has been doing some amazing work in our community, and I wanted to talk to her about it. Welcome back, Monica.
Thanks, Nadine. I always love coming to talk to you.
I want to mainly focus on the pop-up pantries. What's a pop-up pantry? And give me a little background.
So, pop-up pantries, we started these on April 1st, and this was in response to the COVID shelter in place, that we also, during that time, had lost a lot of our volunteers. So anyone over the age of 65, as you know, was encouraged to stay home. So we saw a huge decrease in our pantry volunteers, as well as our volunteers here too. So that combined with a huge increase in number of people who were needing food, we had to help the pantries that were still open. And that's when we started the pop-up pantries. And these are a daily distribution. It's a drive-through model, so there's no touch. We actually tell them to roll their window up. So it's safe for our volunteers who are helping. They take their name and their address and how many people are in their household, so we know how many boxes to give them. And we have served thousands of people through these daily pop-ups for the last 10 weeks. We've been doing this. So it's over 100,000 people that have been served, and just hundreds of thousands of boxes that have gone out.
Wow, that's an amazing number. Okay, first let me ask, how many locations do you have for these pop-up pantries?
Right now we have 6. So we have them in Ventura and Ojai. Oxnard is our biggest one, where we see about 1,800 cars every Wednesday. It's amazing how quickly people can move through the line despite the hundreds of cars that back up. And then we're also in Thousand Oaks. We are in Moore Park, and we are in Santa Paula. But those are the ones for right now. We have been adjusting our schedule as needed. But we've been adjusting the schedule because we saw that some people weren't able to make it during the times that we were doing it. So a lot of them we have pushed back to 3 o'clock. But then we also have one over here in El Rio that doesn't start till 5 o'clock. And then we have one on the weekend. Because we wanted to make sure that we were accommodating everyone's schedule. And so that, if you were working and, out in the fields or whatever it was that you couldn't get there in time, we wanted to make sure that there was an opportunity for you.
Is it a set schedule?
It is scheduled. They are all on schedule at least 1 week in advance. You can find all of that on our website at foodshare.com. And then when we do time changes, we make sure that we blast that out on all of our social media channels. And it's been a very effective way to be able to get the information out, being able to share it. We're also sharing it with farm workers with their paychecks, but giving flyers through the county. There's many different ways that we've been able to share that, including 211.
I've noticed it on the city website too, on their newsletter. Very good.
Yes.
So how do people with food insecurities receive food at these pop-up pantries? Do they have to fill out paperwork or show some sort of residency?
It's a great question, and everyone always wants to know. So what do they need when they come? All we ask for is an ID. And because what we need to know is we do collect their name, we collect their city of residence and their and the zip, and then also how many people are in their household. And so that's just our way of being able to determine, okay, how many people are we serving at each one of these. They don't have to fill out any paperwork. And as I said, they just roll up, we ask them to roll their window up, they put their ID against the window, and that's how we check it. But if they don't have an ID, their agricultural, their farm worker card that they have works as well. It really is, if you show up and you're hungry, you're going to get food.
That's good to know. I want to talk about the logistics. How many volunteers at work at these sites on average?
It really depends on which distribution site needs the most volunteers. The one in Oxnard requires about 120 volunteers. But we've been so fortunate that the city of Oxnard is working so closely with us that they provide over 100 volunteers every single week of city employees, their park and recs group, their city corps. So they have been amazing in that they are there every single week, being able to help put those boxes into the trunks of the cars, be able to help with registering people, looking at taking their IDs, and then also directing traffic. We have the police, Oxnard police is out there being able to help making sure that it's safe.
Now, I did hear that the Air National Guard was helping you. Are they still involved?
They are. Gosh, they have been so wonderful. They are just part of our family now, because they've been here for over 10 weeks now, and they have been packing the emergency food boxes. So part of that drive-through, no-touch model required us to pre-pack all of the boxes that we were distributing at these distributions. And so the Air National Guard has been coming in, and man, can those soldiers can they work? I mean, they're packing pallets and pallets of these emergency food boxes, getting them. They're 20 pounds each, and they are filled with peanut butter, tuna, juice, pasta, canned fruit, canned vegetables. And just recently, we have been working with some local farmers, and we have incredible boxes of produce that are now accompanying these emergency food boxes. But back to the Air National Guard, they are leaving us. They've been deployed for over 10 weeks, but I think their last day is going to be about mid-June. But so we will be ramping up our volunteer opportunities. We'll be putting that on our website. We'll be putting it on social media. But the good news is that everybody really wants to help. If anything, we probably have more volunteers than we have opportunities at this point. So we're going to need some box packers very, very soon.
Okay, very good. We'll mention your website one more time before we exit our interview. So I had a question. Is it drive up only? What if you don't have a car? Are there alternatives to getting these food boxes?
I was at the Ventura pop-up distribution on Monday, on Memorial Day. It was a holiday, but even though food share was closed, we decided we still needed to do the pop-up distribution. As you know, hunger doesn't care what day it is, especially even if it's a holiday. And we saw over 300 people come through on the holiday. But we saw a lot of walk-ups, more people who were homeless and came up with a stroller or a bike, and we were able to help them put some things in bags and be able to put them on the handlebars. We'll do whatever it takes to be able to help them take the food. Some of them make 2 trips, but if you walk up, not a problem. We will still get you the food and help you find a way to bring it back home.
Wow, that's amazing. And also on the holiday, the day you're closed, I noticed you had 2 pop-up pantries. Wow.
So on those days we do Ventura and Ojai, and we're working with Help of Ojai, which is one of our pantries, and they handle the distribution as well. We send volunteers up there, but it's a combination of everybody coming together and working. It's the combination of the pantries and some local groups and the farmers and the volunteers and the agencies. This is not food share's problem. It's a community issue. And that's what I love about my job, is that so many people, rise to the occasion and how can I help? What can I do?
And that's what I love hearing. Are you having any trouble procuring some high demand food items? I'm talking beans, rice, pasta.
Yes, we are. We are definitely having problems procuring food. What happened in the beginning was that the supply chain for all the food really took a hit because so many people were stocking up at home. And it wasn't just toilet paper that they were stocking up on. It was peanut butter, it was pasta, it was tuna, all those shelf stable items that we rescue every single day from the grocery stores, that they no longer can sell, but are still good and okay to eat. So we would rescue those, and that's what we would distribute through our partners and our partner pantries. But that dried up. We've still seen about a 50% decrease in the amount of food that is available from our retail partners. And so that is why we're having to purchase so much more food than we have in the past. We've gone from purchasing about $50,000 worth of food per month to $300,000 worth of food per month. And that is just to fill that gap with the grocery stores not having it. And then also the additional need, being able to, seeing double the amount of people who are asking for food and needing food, and being able to meet that demand is, we have to buy a lot more food.
Oh my goodness. If listeners have questions or if they want more information, your website is the best place to go. Let's put that out there again.
Yes, our website's the very best place to get all things Food Share. That's foodshare.com.
Thank you so much for checking in with us, and thank you for the incredible work Food Share does for our community.
We do this every day, and there's a little bit more attention during disasters drawn towards us, but it's all good, because if it's more attention and we can get more food out to those who need it, then we are doing our job.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Nadine.
Thanks so much for listening to Ventura Vibe, a podcast dedicated to celebrating the community of Ventura, California.